Hey guys, and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to create a look using only Dior makeup products, and this is going to give me the opportunity to share with you my thoughts on some Dior makeup products, some of the iconic Dior makeup products that I have been using for quite a while now. It's going to be like short reviews of the products, and also you're going to be able to see them in action on my face. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe if you love luxury beauty, become part of this amazing beauty family, and also don't forget to leave me a comment so I can say hi. Also follow me on Instagram. Dior is a brand that I love and I often show on this YouTube channel, and that's why I thought it's going to be great if I go through all of my Dior makeup products, if I create a makeup look using only Dior makeup products, because this is going to allow me to show you the products that worked over time and the products that I'm a little bit disappointed in some products. But let's go ahead and get started. So I only have my skincare on right now, and I have a little bit of lip gloss. This lip gloss is my favorite. It's one of my all-time favorite products from Dior. I keep repurchasing this one, especially since we are staying most of the time at home. I love using this at home. It smells like cotton candy, and it's what I have on my lips right now. I like it because it just keeps my lips moisturized, and it's such a gorgeous color. It has those little sparkles in that always makes me smile. It is a great one. And this is my second tube. It's almost, I think I'm halfway through this tube, and soon I'm going to have to repurchase it, but it's just such a beautiful color. I want to show you actually a quick swatch. I have it on my lips, but I also want to show you a quick swatch. Okay, so this is what I have on my lips. I often get questions about skincare recommendations and what skincare I like. So right now you can see some of my favorite luxury skincare in my shop list. I'm going to have a link in the description box. So check out my shop list. You're going to see some of my favorite and most effective skincare products that I keep repurchasing. I have made a whole section dedicated to skincare. And for now, I only have luxury skincare. I'm going to add also affordable skincare soon. So I'm still working on this shop list, but be sure to keep an eye on the shop list because I'm updating it on a daily basis. Okay, now starting with my base, and for my base I'm going to use, I have to find the foundation. So for my base I'm going to be using the Dior Natural Nude Foundation. I have a full review of this foundation in case you're interested. I like it. And I'm wearing this foundation in number 1 neutral. It is supposed to have 98% ingredients of natural origin. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. It does have like a light medium coverage. I don't need a lot, and it has a floral scent. This is a foundation that I like. I sometimes use it. And it's not like my number 1 foundation. Definitely when I wear this foundation, it is quite hydrating, and that's why I definitely have to adjust my skincare when I'm wearing this foundation, because it offers good hydration. And if I go in with a lot of steps in my skincare routine, it's going to make my skin look way too glowy. So that's why I always have to adjust. But if you're interested, I have a full review where I showed you close-ups and everything. Okay, so I don't have concealer, and that's why I'm going to be using a little bit of foundation and build it up under my eyes, because I slept quite well. So you can probably see that I don't have much issues under my eyes right now. So I can just go ahead and not use concealer. But the one concealer that I love and I would recommend from Dior, I'm going to put this one right here. So I'm going to be using just a concealer brush. This is from the NG Hot and Flashy brush set, which I would highly recommend. This brush is brilliant to apply concealer under the eyes and also a little bit on the eyelids, because it's so soft and it doesn't pull the delicate skin around the eyes. So I'm just going to apply the tiniest amount to even out the skin tone on my eyelids. Okay guys, so I'm gonna fix that hair a little bit later because I just washed it. And yeah, let's go ahead and fix a little. So now you can probably see, I'm just gonna brush my bushy brows. You can probably see how glowy my face looks right now. And I definitely, with this foundation, I need to set it with powder. Otherwise, you can see as I face the window, I have a window coming from this side of my face. And as I face the window, you can probably going to be able to see this harsh natural light that is coming, how it hits my face and makes it really glowy. So that's why I'm turning here. I have the blinds open, so I have really sharp, unpleasant natural light facing me from this direction, and you can see how shiny I get. So I have to tone down the shine, and I'm going to be using this Dior powder. This is the Dior Forever Cushion Powder, and I have it in lavender. I have a review of this powder in case you're interested. I like it, but you know what? I haven't been using it a lot just because it is messy. So this is cushion powder. The packaging is to die for. It's so beautiful. It's this very light cream packaging. It comes in a leather top. You can see the stitching. It is so detailed, so beautiful. I love to have this on my dressing table, but once I open it, let's go ahead and open it. Like, it's very hard to get the product out. So this one is supposed to work on all skin tones. I think it's going to work on all skin tones. Unless you are tan, I would go for a darker shade. But for pale skin tones, I think this one is the perfect shade. However, now as I start using this, I suppose that it's going to work better for dry skin tones because you're just going to tap, you're just going to take the powder with a brush and brush over your face. But since I have combination skin, I have to use a sponge. I'm going to be using my beauty blender. I'm just going to tap the product. So my issue with this powder, and the reason why I don't use it very often, is because if I want to get the powder out, I have to keep the cap open, then turn the product upside down, but not too much because the powder is going to go out, and I just have to tap to release the product, and it's just a long process. It's not a bad powder, but then the whole process of releasing the product just makes me not want to use it. And if I compare it to my Sisley loose powder, or to my Chanel loose powder, or to my Givenchy Prisma Libre loose powder, I prefer them over this powder. So it's a good one to have if you love this gorgeous packaging, but then it's not really my first choice for powder. Then I'm going to apply just a little blush because I feel like my face is a little bit lifeless right now, and I'm using Rose Montaigne, and this is my favorite blush from Dior. Also, this is my favorite blush brush from Dior. It's the Backstage number 16. Oftentimes when I use this brush, you ask me what I'm using. This is my most used blush brush. Okay, so I'm gonna apply more blush probably after I finish my makeup, but I just wanted now to have a little bit of color, a touch of color on my cheeks. Now moving on to eyes, and for eyes I'm going to be using my current favorite eyeshadow palette, and this is from Dior's holiday makeup collection, and it's House of Dreams. I have shown this palette many times. Just now I'm going to be using different shades on my eyes. So I'm going to be starting with this pale, lovely beige color, and I'm going to apply this one in my crease. So I have a full review of this palette. I have also comparison swatches to Nude Dip because some of the colors are quite similar to Nude Dip, so keep this in mind. You can see comparison swatches of this palette and Nude Dip in my November favorites video. So if you already have Nude Dip by Tom Ford, it's worth checking out my November favorites video because I compared the two palettes there. You can see comparison swatches. And now for my eyelids, I'm going to be using the silver shade, which is so creamy. It has so much pigment, and it's almost like a cream eyeshadow. So this one is super pigmented. I'm just going to go ahead and gently apply this with my fingertips. Of course, you can use a brush if you want to. I just like to apply this color with my fingertips, and then I like to blend it with a brush. But the majority of the color I always apply with my fingers. Then I'm taking a brush and I'm going to make the shape a little bit more precise and apply this color also in the inner corner of my eye and up to the crease. And I'm going to stop at the crease color. And this color is actually a perfect one and done eye color. And what I love about this palette is that you have a lot of one and done eye colors. I love the taupey shades in this palette. Okay, so this is what I have so far, and now comes a little unpleasant surprise. Now I want to apply black kohl eyeliner on my lash line, and I have one that is from last year of Dior, and this is the black kohl eyeliner. I have a few of those and they already dried. So this has never happened to me with high-end eyeliners. Now this here is a little unpleasant because last year I purchased 3 or 4 Dior eyeliners. Right now I can find 2 of them, and unfortunately both have already dried. So I'm going to show you now, and this has never happened to me before with other eyeliners. They usually would last like a couple of years and they wouldn't dry so quickly. So you can probably see. So you can see that it does give some color, but I can't put that much pressure on my eyelid. So I'm really applying a lot of pressure. If I were to gently kind of rub this against my very sensitive eyes, I wouldn't get any color like here. And then if I really, if I really apply a lot of pressure, but I'm basically scratching my hand right now. So let me know in the comment section below if you're experiencing the same problems with the Dior eyeliners, because I have 2 eyeliners. One is this and the other one is a burgundy shade that I recently found. And I just find that in order to get the color, I just have to apply so much pressure that I wouldn't be able to apply that amount of pressure on my eyelids. Even if I didn't have sensitive eyes, I just wouldn't be able to apply that amount of pressure on my eyelids because I'm really applying a lot of pressure. I don't know, probably if I scrape a little bit of it, it's going to get better. Let's see actually. Okay guys, so I just cut the top off, like approximately 1/2 centimeter I cut, and let's see if it gets better. Okay, so when I cut the top off, it did get better, but still I have to apply a good amount of pressure to get the color, which I wouldn't recommend specifically this eyeliners, considering that they dry so quickly. So yes, the color became more intense when I cut the top off. But then really, I do apply a lot of pressure. And for someone with sensitive eyes like me, I'm just not willing to put this on my eyelids. Anyways, that's a little bit of a disappointment because with my Chanel eyeliners, I have eyeliners from 3 to 4 years ago. Not that I use them, but I still can swatch them quite easily and they're still very soft. I always make sure to change my eye makeup on a regular basis. I always make sure not to use old products, specifically because my skin is very sensitive and also my eyes are very sensitive. But this one, I was a little bit disappointed because in 1 year time, I would actually use my eyeliners. And this, it just is not acceptable for me. Let me know in the comment section below if you have the Dior eyeliners and what happens in 1 year time. Have you ever experienced something like this? Let me know, I would love to know. Okay guys, so here is another one from last year. Again, this is a gold one and it looks like it's the same like the black one and the burgundy one. They just dry even though I was keeping the cap. So with this one, okay, I'm gonna take this closely, but I'm really scratching my hand right now. You can see the amount of pressure that I apply. It really, it doesn't, this one, yeah, this one is completely dry. This one is worse even than the, and you can see that I actually only swatched it. So it's a pity because as I give you a close-up, you can see that I only swatched it. So yeah, that's a little bit of a disappointment, but this one, no way I can put this. And now since I want to use eyeliner, I'm just going to go ahead and use the Chanel eyeliner. And the one that I'm going to be using is in number 42. It was Grease Graphite, which is like a grayish eyeliner. This one is very soft, very beautiful. I'm going to massage this into the roots of the lashes and on my lash line. Okay, so this is with the mascara on, and I just want to add a little bit more sparkle, and I'm going to be using one of the Dior highlighters, and this is in number 03, Pearlescent Glow. This is this lovely pearly highlighter, which I love using on my eyes, and I just want to add even more sparkle. I have already applied mascara, guys. So I just want to apply a little bit more sparkle. It's probably not going to be visible on camera, but I feel the festive spirit right now, so that's why I just want to add a touch more sparkle. And this highlighter actually reflects the light in a very beautiful way. So this is what we have so far. For highlighter, I'm going to be using Pink Glow. I love the Dior highlighters. They are... Just gonna close my eyes so that I don't get any powder, because if I get any powder in my eyes, they're going to be sensitive. And Pink Glow is my favorite highlighter because it just matches my skin tone quite nicely. Just a touch I'm gonna add on my nose. Next, I forgot to fill in my brows, and I'm going to do it now. This is quite an old Dior brow pencil, but I love it. It's a powder brow pencil, and I find that powder brow pencils work best to fake those little hairs. For lips, I'm going to resist the urge to use a bright red lip color. Dior have amazing lipsticks, by the way. I really love them. I love the formulation of the lipsticks, of all of their lipsticks. But I want to use one of the holiday lipsticks, and I want to use this statement color. It's one of my current favorites, and this is the lip color that I'm going to use today. So this is with the lipstick on, and I just want to apply a little bit of bronzer. I'm using the bronzer in number 4. It's this one from Dior, Tan Bronze. And I love the Dior bronzers. I think they're very good quality. And somehow they melt into the skin very beautifully. Just going to apply the bronzer here and there. I don't want to have too much, but I also want to add a little bit of color. And this is the finished look. I paired this look with one of my favorite fragrances from Dior, which I would love to share with you. So this is Dior Poison Girl, and it's one of my favorite winter fragrances as well. So this one is a very rich and warm fragrance, which is quite suitable for the season, I think. It has notes of orange blossom, it has rose, it has tonka bean, and also vanilla. And mine, you can probably see, is quite dark. Now this is because of the vanilla. If you have fragrances that contain vanilla, if you keep the fragrance for a year or a little more than a year, mine is a year and a half old, and I haven't used it a lot. You can see that I almost have a very small dent here just because I have a lot of fragrances and I like to rotate them. But right now I just saw that I have it, so I decided that I'm going to start wearing this fragrance again. It is such a rich, gorgeous, and very sensual fragrance, which is quite suitable for the season. So if you have fragrances that contain vanilla, don't worry if they get dark. This is something that's normal for vanilla-based fragrances, and this fragrance has a gorgeous vanilla note in the base. It is just as good, it smells the same, but the vanilla gets darker over time. So in the course of a year or a little more than a year, if you're keeping a fragrance that has vanilla, it's most probably going to get dark. It also depends where you're storing the fragrance. I always store my fragrances in dark places, but still it does get a little bit dark, but it's still as good. I absolutely love this fragrance. It's so sensual, it's so beautiful. I think this fragrance is also a great gift idea because it's one of the most beautiful bottles of fragrances that I have. I love the shape of the bottle. It is absolutely gorgeous, and when you first buy the fragrance, of course the juice is going to be much lighter, and of course don't keep your fragrances for so long, but I just have I just have a lot of fragrances. I'm a huge fragrance lover and I tend to rotate them. So that's why I usually would use fragrance in the course of 2-3 years or a little bit more even. But this is such a beautiful, such a sensual scent. And it gets me a lot of compliments. Also, men love this fragrance. I don't know why. One thing that I really enjoy about this fragrance is that it smells expensive. It almost smells like a niche fragrance, but it's very wearable. It's very easy to wear because of the vanilla, the orange blossom, the tonka bean. It has a touch of sandalwood as well, and the roses here. I love the combination of rose and vanilla and orange blossom. It just makes it so seductive. This one is Eau de Parfum, and it has amazing performance. The sillage of this fragrance is very impressive. It lasts me like good 8 hours on my skin, which is quite impressive. And I don't need to spray a lot. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know what are some of your favorite Dior makeup products. Let me know also about the fails. This is going to help to our whole community. And if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and follow me on Instagram. I'll see you next time. Bye.